brain cells working a little bit, shall we? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Was anyone able to solve the problem? Show of hands. See, I will never tell any one of you that you're smart. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
On 3rd of January 2019, I came across a very intriguing email. This email came from a person called Sal Khan. Show of hands, how many of you have heard of him? For others, let me give a slight introduction. Now, as you might be able to read, this guy has a couple of degrees from a very remote college in Massachusetts. Nobody has heard of that college, right? Also, a business degree from some college in Boston. I don't know where he went. He's also had some time on magazines on and off. Forbes. Nobody reads Forbes, right? He was on the cover of Forbes for an article titled "A $1 Trillion Opportunity." Time? Does anybody read Time? No, right? They like to do a lot of lists. 100 most influential people of the year 2012. This guy was right there. Sarcasm aside, hero. And when your hero sends you an email, you read it. Now, in this email, he talks about why he will never say that his son is smart. Focus on the last line. Learning isn't about being smart. Instead, it's about you practicing and persevering through challenges. This is a very nice article link as well, and I went through that article. Now, in that article, he talks about a growth mindset. Those articles have a lot of beauty in them. There's a specific quote that I'd like to point out, which is, I decided to praise my son, not when he did something he was already good at, but when he persevered with things that he found difficult. I stressed to him that by struggling, your brain grows. What a line. He's so invested in his son and his learning that he's able to say something like this and he's able to do it consistently. Now, this leads to something that we call the mindset conundrum. What are we talking about here? So there's a certain person called Dr. Carol Dweck. She's a psychology professor at Stanford University. Now, she's been doing research on this for 30 years. Alright? And she was the one who coined the term fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. Now, what she basically talks about is the underlying belief that all of us have about learning. Let's take an example of a fixed mindset. A person with a fixed mindset will put his efforts in a place where he knows for a fact that success is guaranteed. Something which he's already good at. And he will refrain from putting his efforts at a place where he might not be very comfortable and failure is probable. Whereas a person with a growth mindset realizes that with struggle, putting yourself through obstacles, that is exactly where your growth happens. Right? And he puts himself through that path. Now, she had two hypotheses. And then she has done some testing on both these hypotheses. The first hypothesis is that the brain is more malleable than all of us believe. The brain is made up of neurons, correct? If you do a task consistently over time, the neurons form a pathway. And over time, that task will become very easy. Let me give you all an example. Can all of you fold your hands for a second? Right? Are you guys comfortable? Now reverse the order. What I mean by that is, put the hand on the bottom at the top and do it the other way around. Something like this. Reverse the order. Does it feel peculiar? Does it feel slightly weird? That is your neurons forming a chain because it's the first time that you're doing something like this. Now, to test this hypothesis, she had two control groups. Now, if you look at the graph here, both the control groups start with approximately the same CGPA. In one control group, they are told that you can grow. What you get now in marks, they can change over time. On the other control group, she says that no, what you're getting is static, your brain is fixed. if you look at over time, the growth GPA continues to rise, whereas over time, the fixed mindset GPA continues to drop. She has another hypothesis, which is effort praise versus intelligence praise. And this comes more from a teacher. Instead of praising a person's intelligence, saying that somebody is smart, praise the effort, saying that you did a lot of work to get here. Simple difference, right? Look at the number of questions solved that drastically changes. See, the green line, effort praise started with 5. This is at 5.5. But when you're praising effort and somebody hits a failure, they know for a fact that, boss, I can put in more effort and I can get over it. Whereas when you're praising intelligence, somebody might think, this is it. This is my capability. I cannot get out of here. Look at the difference in the graphs again. Finally, these are control groups. Let's look at it in an actual classroom. So this is a math test that people take, and if you look at the growth percentiles over time, right, the state average is consistent, whereas people who were given the growth mindset training in their classes, their average has risen, right? So this actually works. Now all of you will be like, bro, alright, fine, all this is in a classroom. What about real life? Another thing is, how many of you recognize him? Sure. So he talks about this quote where he says that I used to go for so many interviews, so many auditions, but I never used to get anything. Then he talks about this. I wasn't there to get a job. I was there to do a job. He focuses on the process instead of on the result. And this guy is Bryan Cranston. He's there in Breaking Bad. It's a award-winning show. Now let's come back to the question that we had. Nobody got this question. It's not because of the fact that it's mathematics and it's difficult mathematics. It's just because of the fact that there is a lack of experience here. This is 2 raised to the power 7 into 2 raised to the power 4, which is 2 raised to the power 11, which is 2048. Now, why is 2048 so special? Because of this game. You guys might have played, right?
Yes.
Now, to end, I would like to quote one last guy. This guy is called Conor McGregor, ultimate fighting champion, featherweight, lightweight, former. And his quote goes like this: I'm not talented, I'm just obsessed. Thank you. Over to you.